Yes.
What is the National Libertarian Party going to do to help us in next year? I mean, especially for us, we've really got a battle on our hands, keeping our ballot status up. Is there things that the National Party can help us here in Missouri?
I can't speak on what the national office is doing regarding that issue. I can tell you what I'm working on, though. Okay. One of the problems with the Libertarian Party, and it's really it's no fault to anybody at the staff level or even the LNC, but we tend to run our organization like we ran it in the past, more of a direct mail type organization, not an internet, not a progressive internet type organization. So I'm working now with staff and the LNC to transition the party from more of a direct mail type 80s type organization to a more modern type internet-based organization, where for the same amount of money we can increase our exposure because we're using the internet more. I believe that I think we're in a good situation because a lot of people like the Libertarian Party. They like our ideals. They like what we stand for. They just don't know that we're there most of the time. They don't know that we're an option. I think one of the biggest opportunities that we have is just letting people know that we exist. And we can do that on the internet through blogging, through getting listed in polls and surveys, voter pamphlets. I do believe that if we do our job right with just letting people know that we're an option, we get 5 to 10% of the support of the population very quickly. And 5 to 10% is a huge number, considering that half the people don't vote. Look at what the Republican Party did in the last 2 terms. With a very small minority, they had control. We could do the same thing too. Yes.
The Boston Tea Party folks, I got the impression that they started out rather grassrootsy, and the Republicans are trying to, pull a Microsoft and extend, embrace, devour, whatever the sequence is. And is that your impression? And more importantly, is there what do you see as the best way that the LP could make ourselves known to them and gather them into our fold?
Well, getting back to what you said first, I think the politicians are just opportunistic. They're going to embrace whatever looks different, and they're going to jump on board whatever bandwagon has the most momentum. Momentum, the perception of momentum, which is a big issue for me. I want the Libertarian Party to have the perception that we're going places, that we're not retrenching and going back. I don't know what to say about the Boston Tea Party. I just know that we have a great message. We're the original sort of advocates of this message, a message of liberty, and I think that we're in the position to really take advantage of this huge momentum in the country right now, just working towards liberty. Hey, Bob.
Yeah, with regard to what the National LP could do to help Missouri, I think Missouri should take a look at what happened in North Carolina. There was a very good candidate, Michael Munger. We got to the point in North Carolina where we had been dumping thousands of dollars on ballot access, election after election after election. What they did is they went out, they got this Michael Munger, I think it was a PhD. He was the chair of the poli-sci department at Duke or something. Excellent candidate, word got around, money followed, and we do not have to spend the money next time in North Carolina, and that'll save us a ton. So if we do that in Missouri,
Yeah.
it's up to us to start. Everybody's just going to give you, there's no money to give you. Say, okay, take this and do something with it. Missouri has to start first, get the candidate, and then the funds will come.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob. Yes.
How do we organize or centralize a lot of our public promotions? I noticed that I went through LinkedIn and Facebook and a few other places where libertarian organizations to join. There's just too many of them out there to join. We've got community radio, I understand, in Kansas City, an LP low power organization owned by a Libertarian, so therefore it's a Libertarian low power stations. This probably knows what I'm talking about. We brought it up in one of our meetings. Haven't found it yet. Told that we have a web page for the Missouri organization. Haven't found it yet. They told me nobody maintains it. Basically, how do we get where we can centralize all that? And it's like having there's too many individualized resources to be effective. We have to coordinate and collaborate together. That's a good point. I've never heard that before. That's a great suggestion, and I'm going to take that back with me. I also want to thank Dave here for lending me his mouse last night, because without him, this presentation would actually never have happened.
We couldn't hear what he said. What did he say?
Dave wanted to know if there was a resource, a place that had a list of all the different libertarian organizations for people who wanted to join, because there are so many different organizations out there, like a central clearinghouse for libertarian organizations. I think that's a great idea.
I can second that. I had to fight, kicking and screaming to try and find the campus libertarians in Mizzou when I started this summit. I found on the student site that had been updated since 2005. I was actively looking for an organization and had to struggle to find it. I know some other people that might have been less inclined when they gave up the search beforehand.
Okay, good.
I really think that that's what the Libertarian National Committee should be. That should be the focal point for helping organize all these media efforts to make this happen. And I really think we need a national media, we need national media exposure.
Yeah.
I mean, from the national committee, here in the States, we'll take it from there. But the average voter that's out there watching mindless television, if we can at least get some national media exposure on a regular basis with our issues, we'll take it from here. Because that's just putting the word in their ear. And we'll, but I mean, I think that's, like we talked about as well, coordination. At some point, there has to be some central organization that should coordinate.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, one thing that irritates me a little bit is I read the LNC news, and I see articles about Robert's Rules of Order. Well, we don't need Robert's Rules of Order. We need to help the states educate people about how to be a candidate, how to talking points, how to overcome objections, how to market yourself on a shoestring budget. Those are the kinds of articles that we should be writing, not Robert's Rules of Order. Right.
I agree 100%. It's organizing. I mean, how do, like, I thought your example of speaking with your brother is perfect. I mean, we need folks that potentially can teach you how to sell, how to pitch the market, how to deal with the arguments, rebuttals. Nothing, disingenuous, but essentially how to win people over and how to set up and organize.
Yeah, there is this leadership void within the party. There are some people who want to run for office, but we really also need people to help people who want to run for office, like good campaign managers, people who know the backroom stuff more. That's what we need is leadership. When I was running for the LP candidacy for the presidency, we had a hell of a time finding good people within the party to sort of help us. It seems like people get involved, they get burnt out, and they quit, but there aren't a lot of people who stick around to help other candidates. We really need to do that. Yeah.